Manchester Central, a constituency carved into Jamaica's political map in 1967, holds a significant place in the nation's electoral narrative. Its creation marked the beginning of a distinct political arena within the parish of Manchester, an area known for its bauxite industry, agriculture, and the cool climes of its capital, Mandeville. Since its inception, this constituency has been a keenly watched battleground, reflecting broader national sentiments and at times bucking prevailing trends. The political pulse of Manchester Central often provides a telling insight into the shifting allegiances and concerns of the Jamaican electorate, making it a focal point for analysts and party strategists alike. Its history is not just a record of wins and losses, but a story of evolving communities and their political expressions. Over the decades, Manchester Central has witnessed 13 general elections, each adding a new chapter to its complex political story. The People's National Party, or PNP, has historically demonstrated considerable strength here, securing victory in 10 of these contests. This long period of dominance established the constituency as a traditional PNP bailiwick for many years, a place where the party could often count on strong support. The PNP's success was built on deep-rooted community ties and an ability to connect with the aspirations of a significant portion of the local population. These victories were not uniform, however, with some elections being hard-fought and others more decisive, reflecting the dynamic nature of Jamaican politics. Despite the PNP's extended period of control, the Jamaica Labour Party, or JLP, has also made its mark, winning the Manchester Central seat on 3 critical occasions. These JLP victories, though fewer in number, were often significant, signalling important shifts in voter sentiment and the political landscape, not just locally but sometimes nationally. Each JLP win represented a break in the PNP's hold, forcing a re-evaluation of strategies and an acknowledgement of changing voter priorities. These instances underscored the fact that no seat is ever truly safe and that the electorate retains the ultimate power to alter the course of political representation, even in areas with strong historical party affiliations. The overall narrative of Manchester Central is therefore one of a constituency with a strong foundational leaning, yet susceptible to significant political currents and changes. It has evolved from being a relatively predictable area to one that demands constant attention and strategic maneuvering from both major political parties. The interplay between traditional loyalties and emerging concerns creates a dynamic tension that comes to the fore during every election cycle. As we look towards the future, particularly the upcoming 2025 election, understanding this rich electoral past is crucial to comprehending the forces that will shape its next political chapter, a chapter that promises to be as keenly contested as any before it. The constituency of Manchester Central is a mosaic of 4 distinct electoral divisions, each contributing its unique flavour and voting patterns to the overall political outcome. These divisions are Knockpatrick, Mandeville, Royal Flat and Belfield. The collective mood and shifts within these smaller geographical units are paramount to any party hoping to claim victory in the broader constituency. Understanding the nuances of these divisions is not just an academic exercise for political scientists. It is the bread and butter of campaign managers and candidates who must tailor their messages and efforts to resonate with the specific demographics and concerns prevalent in each area. The path to winning Manchester Central invariably runs through these 4 critical zones. Belfield, for instance, has long been considered a bastion of support for the People's National Party. For many election cycles, the PNP could rely on Belfield to deliver a substantial number of votes, often enough to offset weaker performances in other divisions within Manchester Central. However, recent trends indicate an erosion of this traditional dominance. The 2020 general election was a stark indicator of this shift as the PNP's winning margin in Belfield dwindled to a mere 320 votes. This narrowing gap has transformed Belfield from a predictable stronghold into a highly competitive battleground, making it a primary focus for both the JLP and the PNP as they strategize for future contests. In contrast, the Knockpatrick division has historically exhibited characteristics of a swing area capable of shifting its allegiance between the 2 major parties. While the PNP managed to secure narrow victories in Knockpatrick in the 2002 and 2007 elections, the tide turned in subsequent polls. The Jamaica Labour Party gained control of this division in 2011 and significantly solidified its position by the 2020 election, achieving a notable 760-vote margin. Mandeville, the urban heart of the constituency, with a significant middle-class voter base, has also shown a clear trend towards the JLP. Since 2007, the JLP has consistently maintained a lead in Mandeville, securing it with a 286-vote margin in the 2020 election, reflecting a broader urban shift seen in other parts of the country. The Royal Flat division presents another interesting case study in shifting political fortunes within Manchester Central. Once considered a marginal area where outcomes were too close to call, Royal Flat now leans decisively towards the Jamaica Labour Party. The JLP successfully flipped this division in 2007 and has not relinquished control since, steadily building on its support. In the 2020 election, the JLP held Royal Flat with a comfortable 425-vote lead. These evolving trends across Knockpatrick, Mandeville and Royal Flat, coupled with the changing dynamics in Belfield, illustrate the complex and shifting allegiances that define the electoral landscape of Manchester Central, making it a challenging but potentially rewarding prize for any political party. As the 2025 general election draws nearer, the political stage in Manchester Central is being set for what promises to be a compelling contest. The incumbent Member of Parliament, Rhoda Moy Crawford of the Jamaica Labour Party, is expected to vigorously defend the seat she wrested from the PNP in 2020. Her victory over the then-incumbent Peter Bunting was a significant upset and a testament to a well-executed campaign strategy. On the other side, the People's National Party is rallying behind Donovan Mitchell, the current mayor of Mandeville, who is tasked with the formidable challenge of reclaiming this pivotal constituency for his party. Mitchell brings local government experience and a strong desire to overturn the 2020 result. The Jamaica Labour Party's strategy will likely centre on consolidating the gains made by Rhoda Moy Crawford, particularly her inroads into traditionally PNP-leaning areas like the Belfield division. A 2020 campaign was noted for its effectiveness in compromising this PNP stronghold, significantly reducing their margin. Dr. Horace Chang, the JLP's General Secretary, has publicly expressed confidence in the party's standing in the constituency, suggesting a belief that their strategies are bearing fruit and that they can withstand challenges. Retaining Manchester Central would be a major boost for the JLP, affirming their appeal in an area that was once considered safe for the opposition. The memory of defeating a high-profile PNP figure like Peter Bunting will undoubtedly fuel their campaign efforts. The People's National Party, under the candidacy of Donovan Mitchell, faces the task of reversing the recent trends and rebuilding its support base across all four divisions. Their strategy will need to address the erosion in Belfield, while also finding ways to make gains in JLP-leaning areas like Mandeville and Royal Flat. The PNP's efforts might also be buoyed by local figures such as Kenneth Skeng Don Black, a prominent businessman and longtime PNP supporter. Black has publicly predicted a strong national showing for the PNP, indicating a belief in a shifting tide of support on the ground. However, the actual extent of his influence in Manchester Central remains a point of debate among political observers. Beyond the official party machinery and the candidates themselves, the influence of local business figures and the impact of political endorsements will play a critical role in shaping the 2025 election dynamics in Manchester Central. These individuals and groups can command respect, mobilize resources and sway public opinion within their spheres of influence. Their public backing or even perceived neutrality can send strong signals to the electorate. As both parties intensify their preparations, securing favourable endorsements and navigating the complex web of local power structures will be crucial. The sentiments of these influential community members often reflect and can also shape the broader mood of the voters, adding another layer of complexity to an already fascinating contest. A significant factor in any Manchester Central election, and indeed across Jamaica, is the pattern of voter registration and turnout. Historical data reveals a notable increase in the number of registered voters in the constituency, growing from 25,198 in the 2002 general election to a considerably larger pool of 38,838 by the 2020 election. This expansion of the electorate presents both opportunities and challenges for political parties. A larger voter base means more potential support to be garnered, but it also requires more extensive outreach and mobilization efforts to connect with and persuade these individuals to cast their ballots on election day. The demographics of these newly registered voters can also influence campaign strategies. While voter registration has climbed, the actual voter turnout in Manchester Central has experienced fluctuations, painting a more complex picture of civic engagement. Turnout reached a peak in the 2011 general election, an election that saw a change in national government. However, by the 2020 general election, there was a sharp and concerning decline in the percentage of registered voters who actually participated. This drop in turnout was not unique to Manchester Central, but reflected a broader national trend of increasing voter apathy or disillusionment. Understanding the root causes of this decline is crucial for any party aiming to maximize its electoral performance in the upcoming 2025 contest. The consequences of the low voter turnout in 2020 were evident in the raw vote counts for both major parties in Manchester Central. Both the Jamaica Labour Party, which received 8,140 votes, and the People's National Party, with 6,989 votes, saw their lowest vote tallies since the 1993 election. This indicates that while the JLP won the seat, it was on the back of a smaller, active electorate. The People's National Party experienced a particularly stark decline in its voter support, shedding over 3,600 votes between the high turnout election of 2011 and the low turnout contest of 2020. This significant drop highlights a critical challenge for the PNP in re-energizing its base. Looking ahead to the 2025 general election, the ability of both the JLP and the PNP to effectively address voter apathy and successfully mobilize their supporters will be paramount. The party that can inspire greater enthusiasm, convince disillusioned voters of the importance of their participation, and efficiently get its supporters to the polls will gain a significant advantage. Campaigns will need to go beyond traditional rallies and actively engage with communities, addressing their specific concerns and demonstrating a tangible commitment to their welfare. In a constituency as historically competitive and dynamically evolving as Manchester Central, the battle for every single vote, and indeed for the motivation to vote at all, will undoubtedly be a defining feature of the path to victory.